Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. It's actually Saturday I'm filming this. We got a heat wave, it's 15 degrees out. This is a shovel handle, 44 inches long. I cut the rivets off, then drove the rivets into the wood a little bit to get the handle, the shovel part to come off. This is that ace tape. We've probably got 2 layers over the top of it. I use this to get up off the couch and the chair with. I'm thinking these are two, you can do that, I'm thinking these are 2 separate rivets because I cut one off and tried to pound it in there. That was cracked, it was this one. I pounded it in there and it did not move on the other side, so it's probably 2 separate rivets drove in there. Of course I rounded the edge so it don't splinter. There's a way you can char a stick too to make it harder on the end, but give you a good view of that. We'll take a picture of that. But there you go, we'll have to do something else. We're going to get inside where it's warm. We got a future project we're working on. We got to make a new knob for the stove door handle. So we're going to get out of this cold here real quick. So we're going to get back inside. Stay tuned. I wonder if you can hear that. I feel like a hobo. The train's coming through and I'm trying to keep warm in an old shack by the tracks. Oh sure. Now the horn ain't gonna sound. Well, there we go. It's 65 degrees on the wall behind the stove, and it's only 55 at the desk here. But okay, let's get to work. Okay, got a busy day. I had to run to the store, do a few errands. I'm finally out here in the shop. Hey, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I've been up since about 8 o'clock this morning about starting the stove one time. We need to replace this. I might have hit this with my hatchet, but it got cracked somehow and I tried epoxying it. Well, I need to duplicate it because this is a carriage bolt with the head ground down, probably the 1/2 inch, whatever bit I had, because you couldn't touch it, it'd get hot. I've even got washers on her to space her out away from the stove handle. And here's what they look like. I got 2 sizes of these. This one has a hole drilled through. I was gonna make them things with the string on it, but that's the small size. Left is the big size. We've already ground that off. There's like a plastic piece on these, like that. They look like a bunch of grapes. There's a wire in there. You'll see the wire if I take a picture of it, where they actually is bunched together. So this is where we're gonna drill from. Either lay it flat, try to find it. We could try to find the center, but I'm just going to do it free-handed. I do not feel like putting in a drill press. We're going to take a very small bit, go as straight as we can, and then we'll kind of eyeball it, kind of stop the drill and see if it looks like it's straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to duplicate this. So, on with the show. Ain't a whole lot I can show you on it, except when I'm done. Oh. With this epoxy together, I epoxied this together when it cracked. We got 2 nuts locked on here. So let's see what happens. I think that'll come loose. We want to use the same bolt when I make another one. So we'll work on that, or we'll just bust this apart with a hammer. So stay tuned. We'll get after this little part of the projects today. Okay, we got all kinds of light coming in the window, so we can almost turn our lamps off. We got a real small bit in here, as you can tell. And we only went about 9¼ inch. So we can be careful doing this. Don't imitate me and drill through yourself. We'll continue doing that with a small bit. We're just going to eyeball it. It's just a knob. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. But you see how I'm doing it. It ain't too far off. I've used my cheap $15 drill. Well, it was 18. I had a whatever rebate or whatever on it. But okay, so you see what I'm doing there. Then once I'm done, I'll use the 1/4 inch size. See where I rounded that head? That's probably 1/2 inch. I put it down to whatever size bit I had, the biggest bit I had, so I can sink it into the knob. So this is going in the flat side. So I get a little more accurate, you know, on where to start on the ball. So stay tuned. It's going to be too long a video today, but it's a Sunday video, so it can be a little longer. I always I apologize for that, but I'm sure everybody enjoys watching something, especially when it's cold out. So stay tuned. Let's talk or work. Okay, we went through the quarter. We did chip it a little bit out here. We messed up. We should have stopped and drilled from the other side, but we're going to make it bigger, so it's just a knob. But just beware, if you ever try to drill through some kinds of plastic, you poke all the way through like wood, it's going to splinter, but that's not too bad for straight. Oh, if you could only smell this. It almost smells like that glue that you used to use, like the glue your kitchen tiles down, urethane, whatever. I know the name of this stuff. And messy. This stuff is nasty, powdery, stinky. That is straight enough. I'm thinking about beans I chipped it. I think I'm going to drill from this side because I chipped it. We'll make a little test with the 1/2-inch drill bit. But this stuff will snag. That's the problem. See, I went a real small bit. I didn't go up one size at a time and it snagged when it popped through and cracked it. A little bit was alright. It cracked worse than the big bit. Okay, too much time on this. Let's get it done. Okay, it's a little chip, but I went for the chip side. Put it in the drill press. I actually had to kind of hold it and then just peck at it with the drill. Then it would get kind of grabbed, so I'd let go of it. I got my drill set at 250 RPM, so I let go a couple times and it spun. I just shut the drill off because it's not spinning that fast. But there you go. That's countersink, so you don't burn yourself because that heat will come through there. So I'll put it on the stove, then we'll show you with it on the stove. Take a little quick picture of it. Okay, it's red hot doing it. This stove's hot. Got my lock washer on. Washers keep away from there. You can sand this like with 220 wet dry sandpaper, and you can spray it like with flat black, and then if you rub it with a rag, it'll kind of get shiny. I made shifter knob on my garden tractor out of one of these. It's a little chip. It's just a stove handle. I might leave it like this. One of my viewers suggested last time I did this to leave it, so we're just going to probably leave it this color. It's something different. So, okay, on to the next project. Okay, we're going to do the shaky cam here. I get shaky. Nerves are hot. Okay, we can't find our one that does 25 degrees each side for most pocket knives and stuff. We have the one for 20 degrees for like kitchen chef knives. And don't ask where it is right now. It's around here somewhere. I cannot find the other one. Okay, I just want to show it. This belt runs this direction, okay? When I sharpen my knives, that means it's going up on the blade this way. Let's just get a knife. It goes up on the blade this way. This side it goes down. I'd rather sharpen this way, okay? What we want to do is, we might make a few homemade knives. We want a way to put the edge on, the bevel on, before we sharpen it with our other sharpener with the diamond stones. So we came up with this idea. This is brass, about 45 thousandths thick. We want to make a table like that. See how I've got the slot in there? This was, it's 2 inches wide by 2 inches here, and then it goes up an inch. So it was 3 inches long before I bent it. I filed in the corners. Can you kind of see that where it's shiny? So when you put your knife blade in here, it's sitting flat up against there. I think you know what I mean. Your knife blank. Okay. We're going to do that. Alright. Now, we also have, we'll pause and look for it, the next piece. Stay with me here. Okay, we went back to the tripod. Here's our idea. Unless I had a really flat piece of metal I wanted to do something with, use it like a belt sander. That's why I thought about putting rivets here, might mess it up. But we figured out if we put this little hinge under here, and we do it the right way, how these hinges move, this is like the outside part. If we put it underneath here just right, we build this, we'll show you. If we rivet this down, okay, it'll squeeze this down and make this real tight. And it'll make this so this is hard to move. So I'm squeezing, just my hand is making it hard to move. So we use our 1/4 inch rivet, our giant rivet tool. That's going to be pretty tight. So that's going to be our pivot point. Okay. we showed you the slot, so because this belt flexes, so you're going to flex in and put pressure on the belt. So you don't want it like even, you want it in almost touching that. And it won't hurt when I'm doing this because I can use an old belt and it'll kind of maybe wear that a little bit. Okay, we got to make a bracket going to, say that was bent. We're going to need a bracket kind of like this, okay, to go against this brass piece. Well, like this on the hinge. Let's get this right. The hinge will be like this. Bear with me. This is all just in my mind here. So to be like this, it'll be riveted to the top, then it'll be riveted to the piece here, then this will be riveted down to a piece of board or something. And we're going to strap this down somehow. But we want to make it so we can use it a regular way. So we'll probably just make some way to use like some screw and eye hooks or something, some zip ties, so we can chop it off the board. And we went and got this. This is 2-inch wide, 8-inch thick. I cannot find 1/16 of an inch. I might have to use my big torch, or I'm going to cut this stuff and weld it at an angle with the MIG welder, because I doubt I'm going to bend it with a propane torch. I don't feel like getting out my big torch set just to bend a piece of metal. So we'll snap load. This just find at your home supply stores. Hope that'll focus. There. That way we won't have to take a picture that'll focus. We probably will to make sure, but this is 4 foot long, $10. Well, if I only need 6 inches, well, you do the math. You know, foot of it's going to be $2.50. Half of it's going to be $1.25. Only like $1.25 worth of metal, but this will be used for something. It's nice metal. This is the same metal I made my great big machete out of, that great big curved monster thing. And I kind of heat treated it, and I went through ice, wood, chop. It's not an actual knife material, but it was just an idea for a prototype machete. This common old steel, whatever, rolled steel from the home supply places. So that's that for that. My idea. Any comments or suggestions on this? So I figured with the hinge on there, you'd be able to go like this. Because I don't know, maybe I want to do something to just do the side. Or maybe I want a real slight taper. You know how a knife has that bevel to it? Geez, you know what I mean. Let me find one somewhere. Bear with me. So your knife has this to it. I'm only going to make real small stuff. So you could actually get in there and make that bevel, okay? But I'm going to do this on a small scale. I'm really not into knife making, but I may order some tool steel, because I have a toaster oven to temper it now. I have a little toaster oven, go 450, 500 degrees of temper, and I've got it from someone's YouTube channel. It could have been Mr. Pete 222. I made some tool steel. I snapped a picture. You know, you can take a snapshot of whatever's on the screen. So I got the Rockwell hardness, whatever, and what temperature to use. For tool steel, it's either oil or water quenching. That's probably what I'll use for little knife blades. Something simple, just like a tool steel or something. It's just going to be for small knives. Nothing really elaborate or extravagant. Just for some projects, but I think you get the idea. We'll have a hinge so we can move that, and then we're also, whatever we have mounted there, we're going to be able to slide it in and out. So we'll probably have slots in the board instead of in the metal. Make it easier. So you'll be able to slide it in and out and tilt it. So that concludes this video this week. I'm taking too long talking about this part. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday too.